The Pentagon's answer to soldier suicide is to raise the age of ammunition and gun purchases to 25. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my content and like my channel, you can support me through the links in the description box below. As always, anything is absolutely appreciated. And let's talk about this. Now, back in March of 2022, the Pentagon established through the Department of Defense and, of course, Secretary of Defense, established a committee board, if you will, for exploring soldier suicide and how to prevent it. Now, what has happened is the first and only thing this board has come forward with is their suggestion is to raise the age limit for soldiers who want to purchase ammunition and firearms to 25. That's their answer. Yes, we could send you into combat with sophisticated weaponry. You can give your life for your country, but we don't think you can buy a gun before you're 25 under the thought that this is going to prevent you from killing yourself. Okay, so we got to get a little background on this because this is amazing. Now, as you know, this was implemented by, of course, Secretary of Defense, Austin Lloyd. And if you don't know much about Austin Lloyd, you really need to go dig a little deeper. This is a woke appointee. He was appointed because they made a big deal about him being the first black Secretary of Defense and made a huge deal out of it. And since the Biden administration has been in office, a whole lot of these generals and higher ranking military officials have come out and appear to be quite woke. You remember General Miley talking about white rage, talking about January 6th. He wants to understand white rage. And so Austin Lloyd put this together. And the answer that they come back with is to basically curtail the Second Amendment rights of soldiers under the guise that this will prevent suicides. Yeah. Well, let me come over here. Let's get some context. Fox News article. Pentagon panel recommends bases stop selling guns to soldiers under 25 to fight suicide. Subtitle. Independent Pentagon panel also recommends creating national database tracking firearm purchases on Defense Department property, violation of the Constitution. But an external evaluation of suicide in the U.S. military has produced a report calling for greater gun control restrictions for troops. This is their answer to soldier suicide, is to restrict gun access. Think about this for a minute. Yeah, it's so frustrating. I mean, not owning a firearm, I'm getting flustered here. Not owning a firearm has what to do with suicide? Do you really need a gun to commit suicide? No. So what is the point of this? Gun control. The Pentagon is now political. The Suicide Prevention and Response Independent Review Committee, SPRIRC, was formed by the Department of Defense in March 2020 to help combat the rising rate of suicide among service members. We're not going to recommend that we get more resources into mental health, support groups. No. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to tell them they need to restrict firearms. This just absolutely reminds me of what happened here in Connecticut after the Sandy Hook incident. First thing that they come up with is gun restrictions. Not mental health, not screenings, not the fact that there are a whole lot of problems with that, but the first thing they had to implement was we need to ban a whole bunch of guns. Same thing here. Soldier suicides. Oh, in order to prevent it, we need to ban a whole bunch of guns. We need to prevent them from buying guns and ammo. In the committee's report released Friday, the independent body recommends on DOD property raise the minimum age for purchasing firearms and ammunition to 25 years. The committee designated the suggested ban on gun purchases for soldiers under 25 as high priority and a factor that must change. The report goes on to suggest other alterations to gun laws on DOD property to reflect common gun control tactics, including suggestions to implement a 7-day waiting period for any firearm purchase on DOD property and develop a national database for recording serial numbers of firearms purchased on DOD property. In this report, the SPRIRC emphasized that effectively preventing and responding to suicide will require a multifactorial approach, as death by suicide among service members are complex. Thus, simple or singular strategies will not work, the committee wrote in its executive summary. But you're taking a singular approach by telling me you have to be 25 to buy a gun. The report also recommends that the DOD implement a 4-day waiting period for ammunition purchases on DOD property to follow the purchases and receipt of firearm purchase on DOD property. Quote, the Department of Defense has taken note of the SPRIRC's work and will use it to enhance their current approach in 3 key priority areas, the DOD said in a statement Friday in response to the report. The statement continued, the Department of Defense recognizes that suicide is a complex issue with no single cause or solution, but is committed to promoting the well-being, health, and morale of their total force and preventing suicide within their ranks. Just keep in mind, this is the new DOD and Secretary of Defense people who are pushing a whole lot of woke ideology on their soldiers, and their soldiers aren't taking it very well. But, so there that is. As I said before, the Pentagon is now political. They're now political. They are literally doing the bidding of this administration, and this is the damn disgrace. Their answer to suicide is to restrict firearm ownership on DOD property based on age, which is a discrimination, which is against the Constitution. But this is their answer. This is what they came up with. This is what we're spending all this money on for these committees, this little independent panel, which we don't know who's on this panel. Let's be clear. We have no idea who's on this panel. So that immediately raises the hackles on my neck about what's actually going on here. It is a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace. We're not going to put money into mental health. We're not going to put money into anything else, but no. We're going to restrict firearm purchase based on age. It was absolutely asinine, because a soldier at 24 is more likely to be suicidal than a soldier at 26. Yeah, this is out. This whole administration, boy, they just don't get it. Oh, no. Let me clear myself. No, that's not true. They do get it. It's just that they're using it for their own agenda. They do get it. I can't say they don't get it. They do get it. But this is just another step in their, gun control tirade. This is asinine, but let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.